Hey everybody, welcome to season 4 of What's IGN Crashing On. I'm Karen Walby Solomon and I'm your host, and we're here to talk about what's hot in pop culture. Today's episode is brought to you by Syntec. Syntec is a technology company that sources and distributes industry-leading products and brands from around the world. Welcome guys to episode 10. Today we're having a little bit of a catch-up because we haven't had a pop culture chat in a while, and I wanted to welcome Leanne back onto the podcast. So welcome, Leanne.
Hi, welcome. I don't live here. What the hell? Although it has been a while.
Yeah, a whole 1 week.
Well, since I was here, sure. But we haven't done a pop culture in ages. You've just been lining up the celeb guests between Chyna and Isha Blocker and Young, Famous and African. And obviously our two wonderful roundtables, Euphoria and Bridgerton. I feel like we just haven't caught up in what's happening in the world of celebs.
Which is, very important to us. We can't just talk to them, we must also talk about them. But but talking about the roundtables, last week's roundtable we spoke about Bridgerton, and Bridgerton has been it's been having a moment right now.
I had
Bridgerton season 2.
I had such FOMO, literally. So, context, I knew Karen was planning the roundtable, and I really wanted to finish the season in time because you guys were recording at 10 a.m. on Sunday. But when you have a social life, it just doesn't always work out. But I kid you not.
About me.
Yeah, but Karen, this is your life. You watch the things. You entertain us. You give us your wonderful opinions. But I kid you not, we had a birthday on Saturday. We got home at about 8 and we started watching. And I think we watched the first 4 episodes on Saturday night. And then Steve and I woke up because now Steve's in it. I love that he hates it, but he's in it now. He's with me. We woke up on Sunday morning, went back to the couch and carried on watching the rest of it. So I think we finished it just after 11. And I was like, damn it, I have so many things I want to say now. So yeah, listening to the roundtable was so great just because such a diverse range of opinions about everything that happened, because there just was so much to talk about, so much had happened in the season. Yeah, so it was really cool. But yeah, I have thoughts.
Okay, so we'll give you this little space to tell us your thoughts on the season, seeing that we're not done talking about Bridgerton yet.
Never done. To be honest, the thing that was most surprising is because, so I knew you had watched it before because you'd gotten the pre-screener, and I knew how much you didn't like it and how harsh your thing towards it was. So as Steve and I were watching it, I think we got about halfway, and then just after, and we were like, why didn't Karen love this? It's so good. Because we just really, really enjoyed it. Like you said, they made it more of an ensemble cast, which was great. I think they developed the characters really well. I think certain points probably were a little bit too subtle. So it took a while for you to get Anthony and Kate and the roles and responsibilities and living up to expectations versus doing what makes you happy. I think that wasn't initially clear, but it becomes clearer over time. I enjoyed Edwina. I think obviously in the first half of it, you're like, oh, she's just the prop. She's just the goody two-shoes, nice gal, very naive, blah, blah, blah. But I really liked what they did with her character, especially in the episode with the choice, where you see her come into her own in front of the queen, and in that scene with the king, and you see her anger and stuff, which was a little bit annoying. But I think at the end of it, it was also because she was trying to prove to Kate that Kate needs to stop babying her and stop living for her. And so there's a moment where she kind of says, you need to do this for you because I'm doing stuff for me. So Do you know? And I think like that was actually really cool because they did give her a little bit of depth over and above what she was like in the beginning. Yeah, no, it was a lot. Flip, there was a lot. And then Eloise and Theo, I really love Eloise as a character.
Mm.
I would have wanted to see more of like how that played out. So I'm keen to see what they do with it because I'd imagine some of it would feature in upcoming seasons. I don't know. Colin was annoying. The other brother was, yeah, not quite sure. The Featherington drama was just, yeah, like a distraction. I don't know. Yeah, it was a lot. But it was good. Overall, I loved it. I really, really enjoyed what they did with it. Except for making him propose. That scene cut me when, because like you assume it's gonna go one way and then he actually proposed. And they actually went to the altar and I was just like, this is too far. But yeah. Okay, I'll stop rambling now. Sorry.
No, I mean, I had a whole episode to talk about it, so I wanted to give you that space to get out your feelings. But I mean, as I said in last week's podcast, my reaction when to the show initially changed a lot to my final reaction. Um, because I rewatched it a few times since I watched
For
it a few
research, of
times
course.
for research. Yes, I watched it a few times between my initial watch and my final watch, and then I watched it again after it came out. I mean, my final watch for the review. So my opinion did change. I think I was just there were things that just bothered me, but the things that bothered me was not Kate and Anthony. I freaking love
Mm,
Kate and Anthony. Like they are a ride or die. I think that they were perfectly cast, that they had great chemistry. I just number one think that they did not get enough screen time, and I
agreed.
will stand by that. And number two, as you said, I feel like this engagement went too long on. Like I feel like they just had drama for drama's sake. But the thing is that what annoyed me about the Edwina thing is that Edwina in the books and like everybody's telling me forget the books, but Edwina in the books is a
It's
very perceptive
impossible.
character. So she is like, so she realizes that Anthony's not really that into her. So she kind of steps back. She finds her own love interest, and Kate is like, and she kind of notices that Kate and Anthony, there's something on. And the whole point of that is that Kate realized that she'd been underestimating Edwina the whole time. So, for me, that was why I had a bit of a problem because, like, I was like, Edwina kind of proves it right because she is marrying the wrong guy for her when left to her own devices. She is choosing the wrong guy. And
Yeah.
Kate has proven right why she should be worrying about Edwina. But regardless, it was a fun season. Like, I've come to terms with the fact I have. I still think season one was better packaged, but season two had the better romance, I think. We shouldn't compare the two, but I think I love Kate and Anthony with my whole entire heart. I also think that, it was made for us, like the two of us, but I also think that they try too hard to be like Pride and Prejudice. So they try to hanker into that kind of Pride and Prejudice obsession. So there's a lot of scenes that are,
There were a lot of callbacks to the
yeah,
2005 version.
and the
Yeah.
and the original and the BBC miniseries. Like
Yeah.
there was, and even the book. So like, whereas I feel like they were very intentional about making to bite into that nostalgia and that kind of like public obsession with Pride and Prejudice. And I mean, it worked for them, but I was just like, they also have a lot. The couple themselves have a lot that work for them that they didn't actually need to be another replica of Elizabeth and Darcy.
Yes, I
That's
get
what
that.
I felt. But anyway, Bridgerton. I have been, I've like so many Bridgerton gifs saved on my phone. It is madness. Like 90% of the storage space on my phone is Bridgerton gifts. Anthony saying something or another. Two of them, I don't know, up close and doing something, all on
Smelling,
my
just
phone.
sniffing her weirdly.
I'm so close to like writing fan fiction again. You have no idea. If I had
I'm
time, oh my
surprised you
god.
haven't yet. I was like
If
waiting.
if I had the time, my girl, I would have been plotting 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 plots already. But yeah, I've been reading. So if anybody wants recommendations, just DM me. I will send you some. But
Put it
yeah,
in the show
no.
notes.
Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes. But yeah, that is Bridgerton. But yeah, guys, please carry on sending us your opinions on Bridgerton. If you liked it, if you hated it. I mean, I'm here for all opinions. That being said, what else did you enjoy this week? I mean, oh, this week. What else have you been watching recently that you want to chat about?
So obviously we were running a giveaway thanks to Sony for Morbius.
Mm,
Jared
Jared
Leto in
Leto.
his transformative role. Yeah, so I went to go watch that on Thursday at a pre-screening. It was really, really cool. Shame. I feel like Morbius is getting a lot of hate online. And I'll be fair, the movie did not live up to what we have come to expect from superhero movies. I think just the genres evolved so much with Marvel and where they've taken it. So like you have to have character development, you have to have humor, you have to have great action sequences. Like the bar is just so high. And I can see how Morbius doesn't quite live up to all of those standards. That being said, I do very much get the sense that the good parts of the movie, or parts that would have made the movie better, were left on the cutting room floor. So like Steve and I actually came home and ended up rewatching the trailers. And there are bits in the trailers that allude to a much more robust story
Mm,
that we just didn't get to see in the final cut. And so yeah, I understand the frustration. I think it's a perfectly good movie. I think it's got what you need. It's got action. It's got a little bit of romance. It's got a really good twist somewhere in there. But yeah, it did lack the depth and the character development that I would have wanted to see, because you it's meant to be Michael Morbius struggling with this person he becomes, because he's a doctor and he wants to save lives. And in his
mm,
pursuit to save himself and others who struggled like him, he becomes essentially a vampire. And so he's meant to be struggling in that, and you don't see all of it. So yeah, but I think it's a good movie. I would be keen to get other people's opinions on it, just because I think it is one of those movies that might be a little bit dividing if you can give it the benefit of the doubt.
mm. Okay, excited to see it.
I
Um,
mean, we do still have a giveaway running. So if you didn't get a chance to watch the movie, we are doing a giveaway on socials for a really cool Morbius hamper. It includes a great little leather catchall tray and a backpack and a notebook and pen and a really cool aluminium water bottle. So yeah, follow us on social and enter to win.
hmm. Yeah, that guys. Follow us on social and enter to win. Talking we're gonna do things a little bit differently this week because I actually want to talk about something that I've been crashing on this week.
Go for
Um,
it. It's
so
been
so
missing.
so talking about Jared Leto, I watched this new series called WeCrashed about
Okay.
the launch and the eventual crash of WeWork, and Jared Leto stars as the WeWork founder Adam Newman. And it's been getting also talking about also probably divisive critical response, but I really loved it. And so the centerpiece of this show is the romance between Adam and his wife Rebecca Paltrow Newman, who is the cousin of Gwyneth Paltrow, played by Anne Hathaway. And they are, I don't even know how to explain it. They are super eccentric. Like I just feel so right that Jared Leto should play the role, but he also like he encompasses very well, and it shows like how she inspires him to come up with the idea for WeWork, and and she comes up with the slogan of the company, which is elevating the world's consciousness, and it's just bizarre and shocking, and the gall behind these two people and what they what they do is just I don't even know how to describe it, but such amazing performances by Jared Leto, and especially Anne Hathaway. She like
Mm.
like she's doing excellent voice work. Her voice is like this deep level, and she talks like this all the time, and and she brings so much depth to the character of Rebecca. Like, this is something that I said, but what I enjoyed what they're doing in comparison to maybe like Inventing Anna is that they showed us how compelling these characters are, but they didn't necessarily make them sympathetic. Like, I didn't feel sorry. I got a bit annoyed by them. I didn't feel sorry for them, but I wanted to know more because they were so interesting. And like, I wanted to see what else they're going to try. So I really, really enjoyed it. So if you're wanting to do a Jared Leto double bill, you can go to the cinema and watch Morbius and then come home and watch We Crashed on Apple TV. Yeah, it's about 8 episodes. I think there's about 5 out right now. And I don't know, it's like, we into this like scammer culture on TV now,
I
between
know it's
Tinder swindler and the vegan
that
lady and
vegan. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's
Inventing
clearly the
Anna.
latest thing.
But yeah, so I think this is a good addition to I wouldn't actually call them scammers. I don't think that they were scammers, but like into this kind of bad entrepreneur founder energy. And it's also very anybody who worked in any kind of maybe creative or corporate space in like the 1910s or 2010s, what am I saying, 1910,
2010s, yeah.
2010s would know that kind of like, oh, we want to make work cool so people will stay there all night, but we're going to pay people a very little amount of money.
But
Like,
we're a family
we're a
and we love each
family.
other.
Yeah, it's very much you'll feel extremely triggered. um
Trigger
and the
warning.
Yeah, and at one point they do call out how insane that is as a concept of a working space. But
Mm.
yeah, it's brilliantly done. So actually, we need to talk about what else happened this week, because by the last time we recorded was Bridgerton, so we couldn't talk about it then. But so the Oscars happened on Sunday night, Monday morning for us, and Jesus, I don't even. It was a
Okay, let's first start
chaotic
about
affair.
who won and our thoughts on
Yeah.
that before we go to all the other things that occurred that evening.
So when we talk about the Oscars, we had an episode 3 of the podcast, where we spoke to
Gabi.
Gabi Zietzman about the nominees, and so if you want more information about the nominees, that's the best episode to listen to because we go quite in depth talking about it. So I'm not going to go talk about the movies as much. I mean, I did say that, I when it came, I mean, I thought that The Power of the Dog was going to win Best Picture,
Mhm.
and I mean, I thought Dune deserved maybe to win it, but the winner was Coda, which is also a film I really enjoyed and I thought was beautiful. I do think it's kind of a run of the mill tearjerker Oscar movie. I don't think it necessarily should have won. I don't think it was the Best Picture of the year, number one, but I thought it was a beautiful film. I cried, and it's such a beautiful. I'm saying beautiful a lot, but it's such a beautiful um, way of awarding, the deaf community and what what they
Mm,
mean, and the intricacies behind them. That they're not just disabled. There's so much more to them than just that, and it was also such a beautiful film about a family.
mm.
So I did love Coda. I don't think it necessarily was the best picture, but you know, it wasn't a terrible choice. It wasn't Don't
Who
Look Up.
would I know you must have mentioned it in the Gabi episode, but my memory is really shit. Who would you have given Best Picture to?
I would have given it. I actually I haven't seen all the nominees, so I
Okay.
can't. I can't. I haven't
Not a
seen
fair
Drive My Car.
judge.
Just got released on Mubi in South Africa. So yeah, I'm not a fair judge, But if it was me, I would have voted for Dune. I thought that was
Okay.
the best picture of the year. Well, out of the nominees, yeah. Um, Best actor, Will Smith. I actually wanted Will Smith to win best actor. This is maybe a. I mean, if I had to choose out of all of them, I would have picked Andrew Garfield. But if it was between Will Smith and Benedict Cumberbatch, I wanted Will Smith to win. I thought that he was
Mm,
very, very good in King Richard. I thought that he like disappeared in the role. He was, and I also think that Will Smith is a very good actor,
mm.
and it was his time to win. Best actress, I haven't seen The Eyes of Tammy Faye, so I can't also comment on Jessica Chastain. But I mean, also think she's a great actress. Campion deserved to win for Power of the Dog. I've got no notes on that. And other than that, I don't know. Dune winning Best Visual Effects, Best Original Score, Best Production Design,
And
Best
best
Film Editing,
cinematography.
Best Cinematography, Best Sound, all deserved. Excellent, excellent film. And I also, the last one I want to comment on is Troy Kotzer, who won Best Supporting Actor for Coda. As I said, like for me, Coda wasn't the best film, but I think that Troy Kotzer deserved to win that award because he was my pick for Best Supporting Actor. I think that he was just so funny and so heartfelt in that role. Like I don't a good dad role is
Mm.
always always gets me. Like you know what I mean. Um, I'm still sad that like this is a callback to a couple of years ago, but what's his name? Michael Strahlberg. I was always sad he wasn't nominated for Call Me by Your Name because I also thought that was a good dad role. But but back to this. Troy Kotzer was so good in his performance. And you know, like obviously because he had to sign a lot of the dialogue, the emotion was on his face and
Mm.
Whew, there's a scene, Leanne, where the main character, I can't remember what's her name, but she goes with her parents to the doctor because she is the only hearing member of a family, and she has to
Mhm.
sort of like translate for her parents, and both her mother and her father's deaf. So she goes to them to the doctor, and the doctor says that I don't know, he's like itching by his genitals or whatever, and the doctor says that like he got it because of they work on the like they're fishermen, so his
Mm.
clothes were kind of damp, and that's how this whatever was wrong with him, he got it. And then they were like, okay, what do we need to do? And they're like, you need to put on this treatment, and you can't have sex for 2 weeks. And then she's translating this to her parents, and then her parents start getting angry because they can't have sex for 2 weeks. But it is like they're like impossible, and it's so funny, and she has to like translate this back to the doctor, and
Talk about
oh,
awkward situations with your kid.
brilliant. Um, so yeah, so those are my Oscar thoughts. I'm sure other people have different opinions, but for me, those are the winners that I thought like really, really deserved it, and I'm sure there are more, but I'm limited by what I have not seen, so I've got
Mm.
to talk accordingly. I know a lot of people are angry about Jessica Chastain, but I haven't seen the movie, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, the slap heard around the world. I kind of want to pull Daniel Radcliffe and say that I don't
I
want to add my opinion to because I'm already tired of all the opinions that I've already heard. But I do find it kind of sad that Will Smith had to resign from the academy and that
mm.
his films are getting put on hold because I'm like people have been accused of things and have not and their careers haven't taken hits. And you know I'm also I felt very uncomfortable at the 2016. I don't know the year the Oscar so white year when
Mm.
Chris Rock made those comments about Jada. And for me, when I saw this, when he said the comment about the hair, I really felt like kind of nauseous because I that's the first thing I thought of was that year when he
Mm,
made those comments about, she's about Rihanna's panties and all that kind of things. And I was just so like, Oscar So White was such an big issue. And the fact that you were a black man and you weren't willing to support it
mm,
said a lot to me. But yeah, yeah, my only thoughts is that, the only thing I want to say is that I'm just very disappointed at how people are reacting to Will Smith. And especially for somebody who's been so tailor focused on cultivating his career so that he'll be the nice black man always.
hmm.
You know,
I know
and
what you
obviously
mean.
it's gonna snap. He's gonna snap it at some point. Um, but I also hate that while we've been focused on the Will Smith issue, nobody is freaking talking about Ezra Miller and what a
Okay,
menace
so
he is.
I literally there were two like when we were like, okay, cool, are we going to talk about Slapgate or not? There were two things that I loved, which was two tweets I saw that kind of sum up my thoughts. The
Mm.
one was obviously Daniel Radcliffe saying, "I don't want to add any more opinions. It's done. I'm done." And someone quote tweeted it and said, "How ironic it is that." The lady who gave us three child stars who could so easily have been menaces are the three most reasonable humans, and yet the person responsible for their fame is now like like an idiot, like can't keep
Yeah.
their mouth shut. And I thought that was like one take that I was like, yeah, that's funny. And the second one was, how is no one talking about Ezra Miller being a literal psychopath? What is going on? I'm so confused. What happened?
So this is. I first want to preface this by saying this is not the first time he's done menacing behavior. So I want to say it was 2020, or maybe it was
Hmm.
2019. I think it was 2020. He was in Russia, and he was arrested or there was a video taken of him assaulting a fan, and then it was just like swept under the rug, you know. And now he's being a menace on the island of Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah, he was arrested for disorderly conduct and harassment because he was attacking people singing "Shallow," and also he was. I'm just like, you can just walk out the bar. I don't understand,
I'm
but
just so is he just like in these instances, is it just him like randomly losing his shit at people? Like and then overreacting? Is it people he knows that he was there with?
no,
Is it
it's not
just
people
him?
he knows.
It's just him losing his mind at randoms.
He's just he just attacks people at random, for no reason. Or for the one in Russia was he was choking a fan. Yeah, just
Yes.
for no reason he just attacks people. And to going back to J.K. Rowling, another actor from Fantastic Beasts. So maybe
Mhm.
she sacrificed like
The wrong
maybe
one.
she had to sacrifice Fantastic Beasts so that she could have good child stars in Harry Potter. But it's just wild for me. The thing is that I haven't heard of any of his movies getting frozen. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna. I mean, by the time this comes out, it might have been. But the Flash is still going on. I'm just after the Russia thing, he thought this was okay because there was no hectic
There were
repercussions
no
for his actions.
ramifications. Exactly.
So, so yeah, just Ezra Miller, we got our eyes on you. We're not. This is the people we
Watching
should be
you.
talking. Yeah, we're watching you. Um, and in other news, we just have to mention Black China man. So,
Okay, someone needs to give me context here because so this part of the Kardashian clan I've not been paying attention to. And so I saw the headlines of like so she tweeted a bunch of like random stuff. I laughed at the replies from both Tiger and Rob on that.
so,
Um Yeah, go take it away.
So the whole Black China thing is that she has a kid by Tiger, who then
Yes.
started dating Kylie, and then while Tiger was dating Kylie, she started dating Rob, and then she had a kid by Rob. So
Mhm.
it was chaotic. Anyway, she took to Twitter to complain that she had to sell some of her cars because she doesn't have enough money because she's a single mother with no support. And which which was like, oh shame. And then Tiger commented on, I think it was like the Shade Room or one of those Instagram accounts posted like the screenshot, whatever, and he's like, I pay 40K a year for my son's school. He lives with me Monday to Saturday. Why would I pay child support? Lol. And then Rob wrote, I pay 37K a year for my daughter's school, handle every single medical expense. I pay for all her extracurricular activities. I have my daughter from Tuesday to Saturday. Why would I pay child support? Long.
I laugh because someone was like single mom Sundays. Okay, so I mean, custody is always a little awkward, and child support is also always a little awkward. But yeah, the whole thing is just screaming mess because in the background, you still have court cases about assault charges.
Mm.
Then she's still suing the Kardashian clan because her show got cancelled. It's just so chaotic. I'm like, what is going on?
But I don't know, the fact that she saw the need to complain, man. Like,
Like you asked for it. Like you started
yeah.
something when there was nothing. So now what must happen?
Someone on Twitter was like, is she basically like a deadbeat dad? And
Shame. But
but I just wanted to
also,
say
yeah.
that, like, um, that I appreciate the fact that Black China is kind of bringing us this celeb Kardashian drama that we're not getting from like Scott or Kanye right now. Like, we have to have one like or Tristan, one in-law or like in-law adjacent, making some kind of crazy statement. So I appreciate that from Black China. Um, Before we head out, like I know we already done our crashing on. You spoke about Morbius and I spoke about We Crashed. But what are you looking forward to that's coming up, uh, Leanne?
Ooh, so much. Off the top of my head, I think I'm just really keen since we're on season twos of things. Russian Doll season two coming in April. I
Mm,
am so keen because I know Steve and I binged the first season in a night. Like went to bed at 3 in the morning because it was so good. Natasha Leone, love her. She's so great.
mm.
And that show, I'm so keen to see where they're gonna take it because I mean I'll be honest, we binged it in a night, so I can't remember much. So I'm probably gonna do a rewatch soon in anticipation. But yeah, looking forward to that one.
For me, I'm really excited about the Shining Girls, or Shining Girls. Um,
Yes.
it's coming on Apple TV on 29th of April. I really enjoyed the book. I actually just lent it to one of my cousins now because I was like, you need to read this book. And it basically tells the story of this woman trying to find the serial killer, but the serial killer has been killing people for decades, longer than a human lifespan. And it's like, how is he
Mm.
doing this? And it stars Elizabeth Moss, and it's written by South African author Lauren Bucas. So if you want to read it before watching it, go ahead. It's a good book. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know if you should or should not. But the show is probably going to be excellent, so I'm looking forward to it. I like a good like crime series. That's my kind of. I'm like my two extremes, like very romance and very crime, or very comedic and very like dark crime.
Chaos, absolute chaos.
Mm.
Actually, I would like to add, I am really looking forward to Disney Plus finally hitting our
Mm.
shores. I'm really
Finally.
hoping I'm really, really hoping. I don't know if there's a way to see what they're going to have, but I really want them to have all those like old school Disney cartoons that used to come on like Disney's Cartoon Cafe.
I don't know. I think they must have it because who else have the rights to that but them? Like
Exactly.
you
I'm
know,
like, if it does, I'm going down a time channel like watch.
mm,
I'm ready to be a kid again and like binge all those like ridiculous cartoons.
I'm like, oh, there's so much I want to watch. Like I like the old Disney movies that I missed, like the not popular ones that I want to go back and watch. And
Hmm.
I must, you know what? I'm gonna say I'm gonna do this, but knowing my schedule, I'm probably never gonna get around to doing it. But I'm a die-hard Simpsons fan, and I haven't watched The Simpsons in quite some time because I just haven't had the time. Um,
Mm,
and because like it only comes on like Fox or one of those channels on DSTV, so it's like, and me and DSTV is like Russian roulette. Unless I'm watching it on DSTV now, I am whatever's on TV. That's what I'm watching. Um,
yeah.
so so yeah, so I haven't watched The Simpsons in quite some time. So I would love to be able to binge all of The Simpsons, which is like 20 years or 30 years worth of content if I ever get the time to. That's what I'm most looking forward to on Disney Plus. So yeah, we can have more to talk to you guys about Disney Plus next, like in a few months' time. But yeah, that's our episode. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will catch you here again next week where we have a great interview with yet another celebrity that we're not talking about. We're talking to. So today's episode is brought to you by Syntech. Syntech is a technology company that sources and distributes industry leading products and brands from around the world. We'll also be giving away some cool hampers in the coming weeks, so be sure to follow our social media for a chance to win.
You need a doctor?
I am a doctor.
I should have died years ago.
People all over the world have my disease.
I'm here.
To find a cure,
We have to push the boundaries, take the risks.
if you're gonna run,
Do it now.
One of the most compelling and conflicted characters in Sony Pictures' universe of Marvel characters comes to the big screen as Oscar winner Jared Leto transforms into the enigmatic anti-hero Michael Morbius. Dangerously ill with a rare blood disorder and determined to save others suffering his same fate, Dr. Morbius attempts a desperate gamble. While at first it seems to be a radical success, a darkness inside of him is unleashed. Will good override evil, or will Morbius succumb to his mysterious new urges?
Not exactly.
I have increased strength and speed, and some form of bat radar. What else can I do?
Me, you can find at Karen Welby on Instagram, at Karen Welbys with an S on Twitter, and sign up for my newsletter, Wildest Dreams, at wildestdreams.substack.com. The podcast can be found at Crushing on Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. You can find us at What's IGN Crushing on YouTube, and you can find more information about this and all our other episodes on our website, crushingonpodcast.com. Send any feedback to mail@crushingonpodcast.com, and you can send us voice notes at +27 78 362 2566. Join our Facebook group, Crushing on Club, where we chat about the show, celebrity news, recommendations, the whole shebang. The show is produced by me, Karen, as well as Rebecca Barches and Leanne Phillipson. The show is edited by Rebecca Barches. Our logo was designed by Nathifa Maroof, and the show was created in partnership with IGN Africa. If you like the show, tell everyone that you can, any way that you can. Keep up to date with episodes by subscribing to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. please rate and review the episodes on Apple Podcasts, as it helps others to find the show. We'll be back next week with another in-depth conversation with a pop culture lover. See you then.